Hello, everyone.
Hey! Hello,
Hello,
Esther!
everyone. Hello. This is the GhostÉire Channel. My name's Anthony Kerrigan,
My name is Sinead Houlihan,
and
and
tonight
we're back
we're
after a
back
long time.
for season 3. There. How are you doing, folks? Hope you're all keeping well. We're going to be talking about topics tonight. Are going to be about trigger words, also personalities, living and survival. And
Yeah.
also we have a special announcement later on as well, around about 9:45 there. We have a hello, Helena.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi, Helena. We're going to be revealing something later on which concerns you. You know what it is there, but don't say anything there yet there, Helena. Hope you're keeping well there. Sinead, can you tell us how people can contact us?
Yeah, so thanks for joining. If you're joining in tonight, you want to contact us or you want to contact us at all, you can head to our website, www.ghostera.net, and head to the contact page there, put in your name. If you're affiliated with any private team, or sorry, not a private team, but if you want to, write to us like a private message or anything like that, put in brackets private, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also, if you're affiliated with any paranormal group, or tourist attraction for that matter, feel free to put your name in there as well, your organisation, and we'll give you a shout out during the show, or perhaps the next show. Depends if you want to come along today or the next time. Anyway, you can also head onto our website if you want to veer away from Facebook for a while. Head onto our website and you can head there and press the red button on the GhostÉire channel and on the homepage of the website, and that will direct you to this live thing that's happening right now. Yeah, so I think that's about it. But I tell you what's coming up about Halloween mega draws or anything like that, Anthony?
Yes, we have a quiz later on, folks, there. So I want two of you, the first two people, to type down a word to us. It's about another 20 minutes there. We'll have a chance to go into the Halloween mega draw by selecting a piece of apparatus, a piece of paranormal kit in the abandoned kitchen to find a 14th century ghost of, what's on the 14th? It's a lady from the 14th century, Lydia. So it's a kind of quiz, it's a kind of game there, and you have the chance to participate in it as well. A few more shout outs as well. We're going to say hello to Lynn, Christine. Hi, Christine. How you doing?
How's it going?
Hey, Christine, former winner of Mega Draw. How you doing, Christine? All the way from Meath. And all the way from Offaly. Hi, Lynn. How you doing? How you doing, Lynn Gallagher? How you doing, sis? Hope you're doing well. We have Mary Nolan as well from back in town. I hope to see you soon, Mary. I think I will there later on anyway. Mary's not behind me; she's somewhere else there. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in. And so I'm going to be talking about trigger words. Now, this is something interesting there that you might switch off, you might find it boring, but this is kind of interesting. It might be something that I've been looking in at the moment. There, it's kind of sort of doing a separate course there with Dr. Kieran O'Keefe there. Everyone knows from Most Haunted there, but it's to do about trigger words. Just a few more shout outs. Lynn says, great, bro. Bridget, hi, Bridget from Seekers of the Afterlife. Hi, guys. How you doing? Hope you're all good there. Stay tuned, Bridget. Some interesting news later on there as well for yourself there. Okay, so trigger words. So I'm just going to talk about the main things about trigger words. Since communication is of hugely significant importance in our daily lives and has been essential for social development of mankind, the overall objective to the study is to determine whether certain words have an influence on brain activity and if this continues after death. I'm just going to mute you there, sis, for a second. Just 1 second. So I'll just carry on talking. So I hope you can all hear me there, So the questions I'm going to pose tonight about trigger words is, are some names and words personally attractive or displeasing, and do they have an effect when we use them? Do brainwaves alter when using specific words during altered states of consciousness? Can contact be made whilst a person is unconscious? And how long does the brain remain stimulated after estimated physiological time of death. So I'm just going back to a time when I put that question to myself about trigger words, and it was I'll talk about that a bit later, but before we are born, or just after we are born, we are labelled with a name. The title gives the person the quality of being unique. I can account at least one experience in my life when I was at a busy wildlife park with my 2-year-old daughter that I needed to use keywords to get her attention. We were both looking at animals in a pen when, before I knew it, she had run off away from me, about 20 meters or so, into a crowd of people. The first word I shouted out was her name, followed by the word stop. These words were at the foremost of my vocabulary and were expressed with urgency and at a high amplitude, so I had to really shout out to her there. The strong emotion I had expressed didn't go unnoticed by people in the crowd. On the other hand, my daughter kept on running, but it was her intention to do so, to explore her boundary. So that's just one experience that I had. And it's probably something that, what's that got to do with the paranormal? Anyway, so are some names and words personally attractive or displeasing, and do they have an effect when we use them? We use our names to introduce ourselves, In addition, they are used to address a person, give notice, and are often utilized, especially to children at a young age, to warn them of danger. When making relationships for the first time, names are thought as beautiful to some and unappealing to others. Nicknames also can be a reflection of happy or traumatic stages of a person's life. Furthermore, a pet name may be given to a companion, a person or animal. The volume in which we say these words can give a cause for different resolutions. Whispering a word to someone is done not to cause attention. Meanwhile, shouting at the top of your voice, especially when asking a question, does the opposite. So you wonder what's that got to do with the paranormal? But is this why paranormal investigators conduct calling out sessions? Paranormal investigator enthusiasts have come accustomed to words that are obtained via gadget app word banks such as the Obvious and the Negrophone. Although some apps and devices use words familiar in the ghost hunting genre or keywords from search engines of the World Wide Web, Wi-Fi, mobile data, or collecting material from our microphones, it isn't wise to scrutinize this basis as valueless. Notwithstanding the preferred practice of these devices, apps to produce words common to the area might unintentionally be igniting an unconscious intelligence. So what I'm saying is, I suppose, using these words, knowing bits of the history, isn't actually that bad if you're trying to get a reaction out of whatever conscious mind, intelligent being that is there. The trickery associated from these devices apps would be immaterial. Instead, having knowledge of the history, past events of human affairs belonging to the locality and revealing it might produce a subtle method in achieving or revitalizing this potential. Another point is that we might misinterpret what some words stand for. Pronouncing difficult words can be a problematic issue, translation and tongue twister as well, and sometimes could be altogether misleading for the attentive listener to identify what had been spoken. So how real are the words, and do they have a different meaning over time? According to language historian Anne Kozan, we have to take a look at the dictionaries and who edits them. It can be often a gamble to include a new word and possibly an outdated word in a book or electronic resource form, and it basically comes down to reoccurring words being collectively understood. Words change under our noses, and history tells us we'll be fine. Words have been changing meaning sometimes radically, as long as there have been words and speakers to them. So I'm just going to put down a few words. I'm going to unmute it there, sis. There.
Yeah,
so you understand what I'm saying there, sis? Yeah?
Yeah.
So I hope you're all understanding there. I will come to your shout-outs in a minute there. But this is interesting. Here's some words that have changed over time, which include nice, which was formerly used to mean silly, foolish, or simple. Awful, awful things used to be worthy of awe for a variety of reasons, which is how we get expressions like the awful majesty of God. So it was like, wow, that's what awful was like. Divest. 300 years ago, divesting could involve undressing as well as depriving others of their rights and possessions. It has only recently come to refer to selling of investments. So that's some interesting stuff there. Like, so I'll just go on to can we feel words? So this is interesting. So if we're talking to spirits and all that, like we're talking out to them, can they, if they can't hear us, can they feel it? Sound vibrates at a source and bangs into nearby gas, liquid, and solid molecules. Our ears pick up the wave vibrations from the air to the eardrum, which subsequently vibrates. We can also feel these vibrations. Each word we speak resonates in alternative ways through our vocal cords, faster for high-pitched sounds, slower for lower-pitched sounds. People who suffer from deafness can sense vibration, part of the brain that people use for hearing. Octaves in music is the interval between notes, double the frequency of vibration at a higher or lower pitch. The range of the human hearing is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. It's divided into 11 octave bands. For an untrained singer, the voice may be only reach up to 2 octaves, so music rather than vocal-induced vibrations are more perceptible for individuals who are auditory impaired. The difficulty in pinpointing pitches for words is down to the bunch of syllables. So there's a lot of syllables in talking. In short, too many contrasting pitches, vibrations in a short segment of time compared to a singing a syllable. Woo! So I holding a note that can be determined and recognized. So before I go, I'll go just go into a few of your shout outs there before I continue gabbing on there. Whoopsie daisy. So we got Siobhan says hi. Hi Siobhan Gala, how you doing?
How's it going?
Siobhan. Cahill, how you doing? He says hi Sinead, hi Anthony.
Hi, how are you?
Irene from California says hi, you too, and good evening. Love to everyone in California. Hope to see you soon. Serenity, hope you're all good there.
I've got a lot of people at the moment. Yeah.
Hope you're not out in the graveyard tonight, Serenity. Hope you're staying good anyway. Love to you. Gary, how you doing, Gary, bro? Interesting news coming up, Gary. You might be interested as well, down from your neck of the woods. Mary from back in time says, sometimes when on location in Ireland, if you speak in Irish, the native language, you can get much better responses. Yeah, I'll come to that now in a minute there, because I'll just go on to like languages as well there. Hi guys, from myself and Kev. Hi Michelle from back in time.
Hello, how's it going?
Well, more news on what Kevin's been up to recently, which has been good. Carol says, Mary Kate Barry. Hey, Mary Kate. So one second, Carol says, good evening, Anthony and Sinead. How are you doing, Mary Kate? Carol says, what did you think of the Anthony of my EVP voice I got on the grave at this small cathedral? Yeah, it was very interesting there, Carol, there. I know some things like with phones and all that, like maybe moving around and all that, but this was kind of extraordinary. What Carol sent me there was kind of, it was the sound of like a deep voice, like a croaky voice.
A croaky voice, yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting there. You know, I can't say it is or it isn't as well, Carol. So you know, only you would know that as well. You know, and it was very different. It was very, you know, I wouldn't say it was. I could easily say it was the phone movement, but it didn't even sound like the phone movement. So it was something unusual. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Quote from Nikola Tesla. I told Nicholas that.
Yeah. From the past.
Nikola Tesla. So I told him that. Lynn says,
I think you're ahead of Nicholas. I think you're ahead of Tesla at the moment. Yeah.
All power, emotions, and memory. As a shaman, words can attract different spirits and reactions from them. Spirit voice is an ancient technique that uses the power of sound. Yes, the sounds of words are exceptionally important. Yes, you're right there, Lynn. There. I'll just go on to a bit more before I'm just going to gabble on a bit more. So I'll just mute you there again, sis, there, because I think I've got a bit of feedback. 1 second there. So, yeah, so you're right there, Linda. I'm just going to move on. So Daryl J. Bem, social psychologist and professor emeritus at Cornell University, published a paper in 2011 on 9 experiments that tested more than 1,000 participants on their retroactive ability before the event of stimulus presentment. 2 of the experiments, retroactive facilitation of recall 1 and retroactive facilitation of recall 2, used words, nouns that check for ESP, extrasensory perception. In the first of the experiments mentioned, participants were asked to visualize a symbol from 4 categories: foods, animals, occupations, and clothes from a computer. For example, if the word was tree, they had to visualize a tree. They were then tested on the accuracy of reading the words with the process of recall rehearsal of the words. Afterwards, they were then told to select 6 words from each of the 4 categories, then asked to type out each word they selected. Astonishingly, the results from the experiment found that practicing a set of words after the recall test does, in fact, reach back in time to facilitate the recall of those words. The results also showed that subjects high in stimulus seeking, extroverts, rated significantly better than those who were low in stimulus seeking. There you go, sis. It is worth considering that some words are attractive, emotionally drawn than others, and that some personalities of people are more influenced, impacted, or absorbed than other folk when initially introduced or presented with an identical word. So if we are extroverts and introverts, some, as this test did with living people, extroverts are more stimulus seeking, as in they look for it more. So can ghosts who are extroverts be looking for us more, which is interesting there. So if just going back on what it says, the results also, so if I'm going to just change the words, which was mentioned, so practicing a set of words after the recall test does in fact reach back in time to facilitate recall of those words. This is what was said. I'm just going to change the word recall to event. Practicing a set of words after the event does in fact reach back in time to facilitate the event of those words. So if I just change those words, so the event, something happened like a murder or something like that, it might actually stimulate what happened. It might actually awaken something. So do brainwaves alter when using specific words during altered states of consciousness? I'm going to show a video in a minute. I'm going to come to your questions again, folks, there. So just bear with me briefly. This might be something interesting. So do brainwaves alter when using specific words during altered states of consciousness? I referred to a previous experiment done at a former army barracks in County Kerry in Ireland. A seance was conducted with a group of people, of whom one of which was wearing an EEG, electroencephalogram, which is a head device. As minutes passed, the person wearing the EEG device had progressed into a concentrated focus gamma waves activity. The brainwaves were measuring 35 hertz. I asked this person how they were feeling, but firstly, in particular, to grab her attention, I called out her name. Immediately, the outcome was that she went into a relaxed yet wakeful condition, alpha waves, which is between 9 hertz and 13 hertz, as she responded to my question. So, can contact be made whilst a person is unconscious? In a study conducted in 2020 by Wei-San Zak Z, a PhD, a cognitive psychological and postdoctoral fellow at the NIH National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, published a paper in the Nature Human Behavior on epileptic patients and healthy volunteers, which found that our brains recall certain common words and memories of our past experiences more than others. So this is interesting. Remembering a person's name can come down to memory storage and 2 factors, emotion and repetition. If you have a strong emotional or sense-related connection with a person, the storage path to their name will be stronger. So fundamentally speaking, the same could be said that there is an incentive when your own name is mentioned, and it could strike a chord for others who hear it. So I'm just going back to the time when I called out my child's name as well. And wildlife watch didn't come back to me. A similar sort of reasoning from believers of survival, afterlife, or otherworld might suggest that words, terms, or phrases are integral to a haunting. To add to the point, one could argue that human will or thought transference of a word that has a specific emotional meaning, such as murder, could have an impact on others if they discern it. So could ghosts also transfer their feelings too? Well, humans that are conscious do have the ability to transplant words from the sensor motor cortex region of the brain to computers. Scientists from the University of California, San Francisco 2021 successfully managed to implant an electrode array into a 36-year-old paralyzed man who was unable to speak. In each trial, the participant was presented with a sentence and attempted to generate the words as quickly as possible by thinking about saying them. We now have the possibility to transmit words to a data system. So I'm just going to show a bit of a video there before I gabble on. Wait, I'll just come to a few more questions. God, is it gone? The time's going up already. Sorry there, sis. Can you hear me?
Turn into a meme show. No, I can hear you. I'm only messing. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so Gary says Wexford is always good for ghosts. I think, yeah, right, Gary. Gary said that was Waterford, Gary. Yeah, I think Gary's on about something else there, which we'll be coming to later. Cal says, Auntie, would you think of doing a YouTube channel? I would do. I thought about it 11 years ago or 12 years ago. It's still I'm crap at YouTube and all that, you know. So I say most of the footage for the books and all that. So that's where most of the stuff is. That's a mouthful, says Cal. Anyway, I'm going to show you a bit of footage. So this is from Gary knows this. This is from the Athenaeum, and a lot of you may know this. The Athenaeum. We got an EEG device and we put it on Sinead.
And I haven't been the same since.
You haven't been the same since. There. Hey, hi Flynn. All the way from Whitlow. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Flynn? So I'm just going to show the video there. This is EEG. This is from the Athenaeum there. So a bit of video there. This is what's happening here. And what you'll see there is that I'm going to ask some relevant words that Sinead, prior to the investigation, that she didn't know of, selected 5 words that she felt happy with, that were happy in her life with, and 5 words that were negative in her life with. And I, unknown to her, asked these words within the questions that I called out. So we see how her brain reacts to it, which is very interesting.
Yeah,
and seeing how this might interact with spirits that are in these kind of locations as well. So I'm just going to show you the video.
Hit it there.
So cold, is that you, yes? You okay. Don't like... Do I remind you of someone?
You appear when the lights, when we're not looking, I think. I think you appear when it's darker and we're not really looking.
Oh. Yes, you are the person that was downstairs with me, is that correct? I know you're still on the stage with us, and thank you, I really do appreciate you staying here with us. Thank you so much. I'm not crawling my left inside.
We're only looking for friendship. You can come towards us with friends.
Are you still beside me? Because I know you were there earlier on. Are you still here with us?
Cold sugar.
show yourself down and bring, we would really appreciate it, please. We come in love. We're not here to harm you, we're not here to hurt you.
Yeah, I saw something there about 20 minutes ago when the lights were off as well.
I'm still extremely cold, guys.
Yeah, I saw something there about 20 minutes ago when the lights were off as well. Did somebody sneak away on a ship without telling you?
Arish? Dog.
There.
Yeah.
There it is.
Did someone stab you? Or did you die of a heart attack?
We just try the whistle again.
Someone blew on my neck.
Okay.
Right. Can you?
Hold again.
We need you to call to arms and fight. Fight for the freedom. Step forward, comrades. This is your time. I hope you're still with me. I don't know if that went out there anyway. So.
Yeah, it was working. It was fine. It was all go there. My brain was folding in on itself, strangely enough. I didn't know my brain would shrink that much. Am I messing? But yeah.
Yeah, Sinead is fine anyway. There, she's fine after that experiment.
All
There,
the botanies there. You know?
I just got the last page of what about trigger words is still going there, Derek. Sorry. What I was going to say. So the topic of telepathy, thoughts, and idea might be far-fetched, but words might be able to convey these thoughts and ideas. People who have suffered strokes or are auditory impaired that use sign language as a method of communication would also benefit from using this technology. So this is about the recent finding in 2021 with communication through computer, through mind. How are brain waves affected during altered state times of consciousness, such as taking in information while sleeping, meditating, or being hypnotized? Well, at times of hypnagogic, falling asleep, and hypnopompic, awakening from sleep, the theta brain waves between 3 to 6 hertz are operating at their optimum. Experts believe that these brain waves are essential for recognizing information and making memories. A 2017 study found that theta brain waves increase when we perform implicit, unconscious memory, automatic memory tasks like riding a bike or catching a ball. Implicit memory utilizes past experiences to remember things without thinking about them. Apparently, it doesn't matter how long ago that these experiences occurred, as the implicit memory is able to track these down. One could presume that these could include the memory of words, the sentiment we feel in relation to them, that they too are also held in our implicit memory. Rose Hearn, a German psychologist published a study in 2014 in regards to hypnopedia, otherwise known as sleep learning. She found that learning new material in the evening before going to bed results in better recall than learning earlier on in the day. So better this time of the evening. During sleep, the brain records the events of the day and replays them. This method is called consolidation. For example, it may be useful for the purpose of learning a new language. Returning to the subject of implicit memory, there is variation can be overall misleading. The illusional truth effect suggests people are likely to value statements true that they already heard, despite them being true or not true. For instance, this might have an impact on paranormal enthusiasts who tend to go by myths, false belief, misinterpretation of a location's history, and unsubstantial reports from people to assume a particular situation, let's say a haunting, is true. Words have a fundamental part of meditation too. They can be exploited to pick out calm, less stressful situations and to enhance moods. They can be used in songs, lyrics that we're familiar with in popular music, and unfold sentimental memory. Chanting is popular in trance for some traditions, cultures around the world. A group conforming to a repeated rhythmic phrase, shouting out in unison, is a key feature in spirit possession. And that's not bad spiritual possession I'm on about. Psychologist Stanley Krippner describes how chanting is used as a tool in shamanic technology, such as the Native American people of the Ojibwa. They heal by means of drumming, rattling, chanting, dancing erotically, and handling hot coals. Chanting in meditation is a major component in invoking deities and reinforcing public confidence into a belief system. For example, prayers, demonstrations, and sports, apart from strengthening mental prowess. Next is another method of tapping into the unconscious, hypnosis, originally mesmerism, which is centered around focused attention and increased suggestibility. The hypnotist subject appears to take notice of or accept direction from the hypnotized. It's like hypnotic phrases, words, also known as power words, are employed in aiding a person to achieve their goal. For example, quitting smoking or lose weight. Using words with intention can create certain scenes or images, distract or capture a person's attention, generate associations between two concepts, and engage in someone's senses. And more basically, it's the ability to move one person's conscious mind to the unconscious. So bear with me, folks. Don't get hypnotized. Here's some key power words. Imagine. Sooner or later. Just pretend. What would it be like if? Suppose. Realize. Remember. So these are key hypnotic words that I use in hypnotism now, or mesmerism. Hypnosis is also possible via phone calls and by reading text. Yet again, there is empirical evidence that specific words are essential in reaching into our unconscious, influencing our minds, and allegedly our extrasensory perception. So the last key question that I've got to ask there is, how long does the brain remain stimulated after estimated physiological time of death? So this is very brief with just a few words. Without oxygen, the brain can survive up to 6 minutes or more after the heart stops. So it is unrealistic to suggest at the moment that our brains have the sufficient necessity it needs from the physical body to function. Yet that is only one point of origin, and we are highlighting the conscious mind, not the brain, the mind. During near-death experiences, NDEs, people have reported retaining their consciousness. In physiological terms, changes can occur in the brain as it begins to shut down, only to reverse before actual death. The neuroscientist Mario Beauregard, sorry for the pronunciation, did a study on 15 people using 32 electrodes to measure brain activity. NDEs change people's brainwave patterns permanently, with the availability for individuals to move into a delta state, meaning the mind alters the brain. The delta state is, it goes in between 0 to 3 hertz. So there you go, folks. Mind over matter. What do you reckon, sis?
Yeah, I think it is like a lot of it is mind over matter. It is subconscious can play a lot of tricks on our own mind and brain in so many different ways. Hypnosis, as I was telling you, was at Darren Brown last week, and there was a lot of that going on, and you could see it being done to the people on stage, especially the repetition of the words and the way things were spoken and the different. I suppose the decibels or the way he was raising his voice and raising his voice or lowering his voice, anything like that. It was very suggestible in a lot of ways, but you'd have to be kind of in tune with what was going on. But in terms of words, yeah, I do think, and like especially the thing from Roadhouse as you showed there on the screen, that your brain can kind of go into a different sort of state for even that split second if a word is triggered that might have a negative connotation towards the person who's experiencing it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's true. I suppose like the obelisk and things like the negaphone, it might not be actually that bad to use them on paranormal investigations. It might actually, if there is a conscious mind out there, to come back again, or our own minds as well. Christine says, interesting stuff. Gary said that was cool. Gary says, hopefully next time you're down this way, I'll jump on board with you guys. It might be sooner than later. Lynn says, makes sense. When we remember places we've never visited, words can be the same, like lines from a song in your head. That's true. That's definitely says it's. Hey, Neve, how you doing? Hey, guys.
Hello.
How you doing? From Neve and Stuart. How you doing, Neve? How you doing? So, folks, after all that, I bored you there, but now's your chance. If you got to get your fingers ready. I'm going to look for the first 2 people to type down the words. Get ready, get into our competition. Ovilus.
Write it down.
Write it down. The letters OVILUS.
Into the chat right now.
First 2 people, you have a chance to go into our competition.
Any takers?
No one's writing the words down yet. First 2 people.
To write the word Ovilus down. How do you spell Ovilus?
The word Ovilus to get into our competition where you can win loads of prizes.
Like a new house.
Oh, there we go. Lynn goes in there. Lynn, well done. Well done, Lynn. Anybody else? Jenny, obvious. No one's actually get anyone there. Obvious, oval, and Liz has got in there from. Liz got in there. All the rest of you fell out after the final fence there. Liz got in there. Well done, Liz. From RIP Paranormal. How you doing, Liz? So Liz Means and Lynn Gallagher. You're both in the draw there. Okay, so we're just going to talk about how can people contact us again there, sis?
Yeah, so keep writing in this little box down there. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to contact us other ways, you can head on to our website, GhostÉire.net, and head to the contact page there. Fill in your message. If you want your message to be private, put in private in brackets. If you're affiliated with any team, tourist attraction, or anything like that, or a company, please let us know what it is so we can give you a shout out on perhaps the next show. You know, maybe not this show, maybe we can. I don't know where Anthony's looking around right now, so maybe he could pick your message up very, very quickly. So yeah, just keep typing in, keep with us for the next while. We'll be here for another 20 minutes or so. So
no, we're here for a bit longer, I'd say. So sorry now, mate, if you're there
maybe
in the background there, just pop off a minute because we've got another 20 minutes there if you want, or you could just stay in the blue room there. We're fine there. With a special announcement coming probably in about 20 minutes time there. Sinead, can you tell us a bit about personalities, living and survival?
The living and survival. Okay, I don't know if anybody's heard of this. Probably you have in passing, but the Myers-Briggs personality typing system comprises of 16 different personality types, and they consist of 4 letters per type. So what it does is it delves into the psychological preferences of how people perceive information and how they make decisions with that information that they have received. So going into this, the 4 different letters. Now, you might be able to pick up these letters within yourself, or might realize it within yourself. The first letter is you're either an I or an E. So the I stands for introvert, or then the E stands for the extrovert. So it's how you gain your energy. Just put it in plain terms, how you gain your energy from people, extrovert. If you gain your energy from being alone, introvert. Of course, it goes deeper than that, but I'm just kind of glossing on the surface here. So the second letter is you're either an N or an S. The N stands for intuitive, whereas the S stands for sensor. And that bit is how we process information. So if you are an S, you're more likely to kind of delve into the details. Somebody gives you, something to work with, you'll take that on board. Whereas an N is more likely to kind of look for the deeper meaning in it. What does it mean? What does it stand for? If you're an N, you're kind of more inclined to deal with the abstraction of things and question things a lot more. Whereas an S will they'll see it when they believe it more so than not, or they're very good with dealing with details and without kind of delving into the question. Of course, there's other kind of we can kind of be 50% or 60% N or 40% S, but that's an N or an S, the second letter. If it's the third letter for personality typology is you're either a T or a P. T stands for thinking and F stands for feeling. So I'll read out a few here. If you can see yourself being more of a thinker, it's how you are more likely to base your decisions on facts. You're ruled by the head more so than the heart. You value truth over tact. So you're more likely to say what's truthful rather than, care about the feelings of the people that you're dealing with. You're rational, logical, quite impersonable, quite thick-skinned, and quite firm with people. That's if you're a T. If you're an F, feeling, you make decisions on how you feel or the value of yourself or the values of the other people. You're ruled more so by the heart than the head. You're driven by emotion. You dislike conflict and can be easily hurt, and you're quite empathetic. That's an F. And for the last letter, you're either a P or a J. The P is more open-ended, likes to keep things open-ended, goes with the flow, quite easygoing, kind of like a bit like water, I suppose, going around like a bend in the river. Whereas a J likes to make the decisions and likes to tick off the boxes and kind of will feel more comfortable with getting things done and doesn't like things when things are open-ended. So those letters are I or E, N or S, F or T, or you're a P or a J. And what's interesting is when we've done this experiment last year, it was a couple of years ago now at this stage, I forget what it was, like in Kilkenny, wasn't it, Anthony? As far as I remember. And just to delve into the spirit world, because sometimes if you're interacting with a spirit, they might more than likely would be kind of more perceptive to how you're asking the questions. If they're kind of more guarded person, not like easygoing, they could be a J, or how do I even explain this? Or if they're more of an introvert, they're more not likely to give information away. It could be a spirit that doesn't like to talk, kind of guarded. You might be asking questions to a spirit which are quite emotional, trying to gain these feelings out of the spirit, where the spirit is more of like a kind of logical thinking type. So you have to kind of bear that in mind. The spirit might like to be asked questions which are more intricate and more technical. And the last one, this is actually one as well. If you're asking questions to a spirit, and if it's kind of more concrete questions, they'll give them back. But if you're more abstract with your questions, what would it be like, or what would you like to do, and what could you imagine if the spirit is an S in the Myers-Briggs, they're not going to have any of that, really. They're not going to be delving into the what ifs too much. So we kind of have to interact with the spirit in a way that you think, or the personality typology system that you think they are. So we did this experiment a while back. I'm just going to show the experiment.
Yeah,
first. We have to ask a lot of questions.
I'm going to ask you then, because it will reveal actually what the personality of the spirit is. And I'll go over. I'll ask you what it is, what it means. Like, so this is in Road House. This is in Kilkenny. And we're doing a Myers-Briggs kind of test there. It's 60 questions, and there's a choice of 6 options for the spirit to choose from using a planchette, a divination tool, which we're also connected on, obviously, there. And the words are, is it agree, is it strongly agree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strongly agree, mildly agree, disagree, mildly disagree, and I think strongly disagree.
Strongly disagree, yeah.
So this is it, folks. I'll just show you it now there. Oops, wait, that wrong one. So there's 60 questions, so we need you to do as quick as you can there with the planchette. As soon as it goes to a section of the 6 pieces of paper, we'll put that to centre. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings.
Agree.
Your mood can change very quickly.
Strongly disagree.
In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities.
Agree.
If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to get rid of loyal but underperforming employees. People work under you.
Mildly agree.
You often contemplate the reasons of human existence.
Strongly agree.
You rarely feel insecure.
Mildly disagree.
You have no difficulty coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it.
Mildly agree.
That's good. Continue on. Thank you. That's brilliant. The energy thing. Yeah. Thank you. That'd be interesting to see what kind of question I write. You have no difficulty coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. Is that the question I have?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Next question. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it connects.
Disagree.
Teamwork.
Okay.
Okay, next question.
Getting excited.
Did we hear you? I was like, I'm going to say, did we hear you? Is that you? Oh, no, I didn't hear her.
Alright, I'm getting there. Alright.
Mildly disagree.
You are walking around the building this present moment.
Strongly agree.
You are a woman.
Strongly disagree.
Can I ask you, using the planchette, whereabouts are you in the room now?
So we kind of get the gist there, like, you know, so it was like we did this test there, and what the personality of it was, I'll just show the personality of the spirit that was coming back at Road House was
ESTJ, the executive.
ESTJ -8, so it's executive.
The executive.
I just go through these stats first there, sis. So the mind, this was 71% in favour of this trait determines how we interact with our environment. It was 71% extroverted, 29% introverted, meaning that the spirit was looking for it.
Yes.
I don't mean it in any other way. Energy, 47%. This trait shows that we direct our mental energy, which using 40% of its mental energy. Nature, this trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. This was 57%.
Thinking.
Tactics, this trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. 61% assertive. So what do you reckon to that, sis?
Yeah, it actually coincided with the venue as well, because it came up as the ESTJ, the executive on the Myers-Briggs, which is they're the representatives of law and order, and they're kind of more morally right or wrong, very black and white thinking, very traditional based, traditional values. They've also kind of upheld in their society of kind of like being the community organizer. Think of, your stereotypical these days, the Karens, those the women that freak out, but like they're that's an unhealthy ESTJ. But yeah, they're generally good at organizing things, and their way is the right way. Just bow down to my orders, and that's it. Everybody step in line, and we'll get through this together. So knowing from the building itself and the venue it kind of coincided with that, that place as a religious kind of like, area to it there.
Yeah, so it took a while to do it, 60 questions, but it was only, outcomes were very short there. We found out, so as you just said there, as I just got follow up, well, you mostly just said it, it's executives are representatives of tradition and order, utilising their understanding of what is right, wrong, and socially acceptable to bring families and communities together. I think this particular Rove House, the spirit of Rove House, the owner had 11 children and he was really dedicated to his job. So it might have been this person if we were interacting
and
with him.
On the board, it was just like no nonsense. There was none of this kind of messing around. There was no joke. Sometimes you're on a board and you'll get some kind of like devil like spirit that will come in, not the devil, but like someone having a little bit of a laugh at you. This guy that came in was like just no nonsense, there was no playing around or anything. It was just kind of like straight to the point. I'm a boring person. That's how I feel that spirit to me.
Yeah, other things, embracing the values of honesty, dedication, and dignity. People with the executive personality type are valued for their clear advice and guidance, and they happily lead the way on difficult paths. Taking pride in bringing people together, executives often take on roles as community organisers, working hard to bring everyone together in celebration of cherished local events or in defence of the traditional values that hold families and communities together. Demand for such leadership in democratic societies. Strong believers in the rule of law and authority, this must be earned. Executive personalities lead by example, demonstrating dedication and purposeful honesty, and utter rejection of laziness and cheating, especially in work. If anyone declares hard manual work to be an excellent way to build character, it is executives. Executives are aware of their surroundings and live in a world of clear, verifiable facts. The sincerity of their knowledge means that even against heavy resistance, they stick to their principles and push an unclouded vision of what is and is not acceptable. So there you go, folks. There. Anything else to say there, sis?
No, I was like, like if you know any executives in your life or the ESTJ, if you even want to do the Myers-Briggs personality test yourself, go ahead, give it a go. It's on 16personalities.com. It's very interesting. Get your whole family to do it as well, and then afterwards judge them on them. And no, actually, it opens up a lot of things. You can see people's strengths and their weaknesses and why they act a certain way. It actually enables you to have a better understanding of, the people around you as well, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to the quiz. Hopefully you're still there, Lynn and Liz. Okay, here's your chance there. I'm just going to play the video there. So, So you got to find Lynn. You're in an abandoned kitchen. Lynn is from Lydia. Sorry, Lydia, not Lynn. Sorry, Lydia. Participant. Lydia's spirit from the 14th century, and you've got 4 options now. Lynn and Liz, you got a choice. You got the seance table, the mirror, the K2 meter, or the portal. So if you just type down table, mirror, K2 meter, or portal. and then we'll find out near the end of the show. You have to stay on till the end of the show. Sorry for that. Just type in one of those objects. It's table, mirror, K2 meter, or portal. There might be a bit of delay there. So if you just type in, what I'm going to do is go. We'll just wait for 1 second. So if you're there, Liz, mirror. Liz has gone for mirror. Perfect. We're going to be, oh man, in the mirror. Oh yeah. Just waiting for you now, Lynn. Hopefully you're still there with us, Lynn. Mirror as well. 2 mirrors. Okay. Okay, now we find out. You have to stay tuned till the end of the show to find out if you've made contact with Lydia. We'll see there. We have a special guest on now. I've just muted Sinead as well. So here we are. Hello. Hello, Mary.
Hi.
How you doing, Mary? So, folks, we have a special announcement there. Some of you might already know. We'll probably reveal it there. I'm going to ask probably Mary first what it is there. Can you tell us, Mary?
I'm waiting for the music and the fanfare and the drum roll.
Well, I just put up so everyone knows what we're talking about. Just 1 second there. Yeah, there we go. Special announcement. There we go. No drum.
Hello everybody. Some of you may or may not know it's the fucking time. And so we're going to do a big announcement tonight, and that is we are doing a paranormal one-day convention in Ireland. It's going to be in February next year, 2023, and it is called the Day of the Unexplained.
Ooh. Yeah, so I'm just going to put up the email address first there. And can you tell us, I don't know if you just said it there, can you tell us which county it's going to be in?
In County Wexford. Oh. Yeah, it's going to be in County Wexford. I know some of you are already going, oh my God, we've got to, look, think of Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come, okay? So that famous line out of the movie, if you build it, they will come. So it's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be an awesome day. And we're going to run it from like about 11 o'clock in the morning till about 8 o'clock at night. And it is a full day of para-unity. There's going to be everything at this. There's going to be talks about spirits, ghosts, paranormal, crystals, supernatural, histories, humor. We're going to have aliens, UFOs, witches, vampires, you name it, it's going to be talked about. Everything, anything that you ever wanted to know about, we're going to talk about it.
And the thing is, cheers, Liz has already think. So we're just going to go over who's going to be some of the speakers, just a few of the speakers so far there. Liz from RIP Paranormal says, reserve me 4 tickets. So I'm just going to ask you a few of the questions there. Obviously, we're doing it all together there. Bridget from Seekers of the Life says, perfect. Wexford, perfect. I know it's only down the road, Bridget. So handy. I know. We were in talks, we're doing it in Offaly there, and the decision is that it's unfortunately because venues was hard to come by there that would be available to everyone. Logistics for everyone there. Jenny from Emerald Isle Panel says absolutely brilliant. Cheers, Jenny. There, it'd be great to see you there as well. Mary, who are the speakers already taking part?
Okay, we have quite a lot of speakers, which I will be rolling out who will be speaking over the coming days, because we'll be doing bios up on the Facebook page. But locked in for sure. I'm just going to reveal it now because they have said yay. Steve Parsons, awesome speaker, awesome ghost hunter. You all know his pedigree and his history. But we will be doing bios on each of the speakers in the coming days on the page, because it gives a chance for people to understand who is speaking, a little bit about their history. There'll be links to books they've written, you know, papers, you know, everything about each person. So you get to know them before you get to see them on stage. We will have Dr. Callum E. Cooper, Warren Coates, and the lovely Helena B. Scott. So, so far, so good. But I'm not going to reveal everybody, because there are a number of other people we will be in contact with and who have said yes, but that will be revealed as time goes on. So,
yeah, so we're just reviewing just a few of the people that are participating. Steve Parsons, obviously, SP Hart, Society of Psycho Research there. One that knows everything about infrasound. Never heard of it myself. That's a joke. So, also, Dr. Callum Cooper as well. He's also a member of Society of Psychical Research. Steve Parsons, obviously, you might know from Most Haunted. Callum has also been on Paranormal Captured most recently as well. So you probably know to see him as well. He's been doing research and about the flotation tanks, and he's been doing he does talks on death and bereavement, also sexual human behavior, which is interesting. So psychology and all that types of stuff. So, and Warren, everyone knows Warren from Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association, founded in 1991, and it was great to Warren to be doing a talk as well there as well. So the event is mostly probably about learning for everyone. Even myself, I'm not going to be doing any presentations because I want to be learning off other people as well, and generally meeting you all as well. Me and Mary would agree with myself there that we're just too lazy to meet you everywhere else, so that you all come down to the one place. it just makes it easier, but it's great for networking, because like this person down below me onto the left, I met at a convention, Sinead, and that was the only way that we met as well. Is that true, sis?
You had me on mute. You had me on mute all the time. Yeah, I met you like 12 years ago at a convention, maybe 13 years ago at this stage. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the way I met Sinead, and everyone networks and all that, and meet new members. There might be people wanting to come and join your team as well, and you know, it's just the fun as well there. I'll just ask you a couple more questions there, Mary. There, so I just mute Sinead because of feedback. So so when would roughly the tickets be available? You can say no.
We're hoping to launch them just at the end of summer, probably maybe August, September. So it gives people the opportunity to, you know, if you want to book a hotel, we'll put, you know, hotels up on the website or up on the Facebook rather. You know, places to stay if you want to stay overnight on Friday and just do the full convention and then toodle off home on the Saturday night. So tickets will be, when we know kind of what we're looking at price-wise and stuff like that for the full day. It's a full day. It's a full day, guys. It's a day of learning. It's a day of asking the questions that you want to do. It's a day of shared accounts of investigations, you know, personal experience, imparting knowledge, networking. You know, it kind of speaks if you are an armchair enthusiast or whether you are a first-hand experience investigator. You know, it will cover everything that you ever wanted to know. So the lineup's going to be diverse. So you will learn so much from that day. You know, basically park your ego at the door and just come on in and talk and chat and learn from each other. So we're hoping to have tickets up on sale end of August, September. Plan your day. Plan it. It's going to be in February the 18th. So book it, block it, have Friday, Saturday, you know, drinks on Sunday, stay over, have the lash in New Ross. You know, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really good. We're going to really enjoy it. And, I know I will.
And just brief, I suppose, like Kevin Dean as well did the emblem as well. So a full credit to Kevin as well. Kevin done it. And so it's the Day of the Unexplained, people. If you want to come on it there or just share it, if you can share it or invite people onto it, if you're already on it as well, it'd be much appreciated there because it gets more people know more about it as well, you know. Is there a possibility for groups to showcase equipment or to do readings as well? People
absolutely. Look, there's going to be an email there. It's Day of the Unexplained yahoo.com. Email us, contact us. You know, we want to fill this day with everything. So if you have something that you want to bring to the table, you want to share, you want to let everybody know about what you can do, who you are, you know, even if you're an exceptional team that want to do a Q&A moment about some really awesome locations that you've been to, send it in to us. Send in the email. We will chat to you. Happy to try and squeeze as much as we can into this day, because, you know, hopefully in time to come, we're going to run this every 2 years, and it won't be just be for one day. It's going to be for a full weekend. So we're throwing it out there, people. You make it happen. We want this to happen. You can make this happen, and it's para-unity at its best. So make contact. The email is there. The page is there. The Facebook page is there. Just do it. Get in touch. And yeah,
Gary says all good things come to Wexford. I know. It's a wonderful county. It's an amazing county there. Christine says, love Wexford. I've been spooked a few times in Rosslare Harbour.
Excellent.
That's great there. Yeah, we're putting you all on a ferry. Getting you all the way from here. Be great to meet the teams. Exactly, Bridget. There, that's what it's there for. There, we're hoping to everyone can meet up there. Like, everyone's welcome there as well. You know, that's the way it is. Whereabouts in Wexford will it be, Anto? Well, it's going to be in Wexford, not the town. It's in County Wexford. I can't reveal anything. We can't reveal it yet. The location has been locked in, but we can't reveal it yet. You have to stay tuned to the page to find out there. Jenny says, very excited. We'll be brilliant day, ready for tickets, mailed team already. Okay. I thought it was one about strippers. Male strippers. Jesus, mail the strippers already. That could happen. I don't know. But yeah, that's, I think, the time of it. Is there anything else you'd like to share there, sis? There?
Just look, everybody feel free to get in touch via the email. I know a lot of you will probably want to be a part of this, which we would love. Lots of help. If you want to send in some advice, whatever, you know, we're open to everything. You know, share the love, share the experiences. You know, we really want to make this happen. I know a lot of you out there really want to make this happen as well, all for the right reasons. Para-unity at its best, believe me. So Day of the Unexplained at yahoo.com. Get in touch, send in the emails, let us know what you want to share with us and share with the rest of the community, and make this a day to remember.
Yeah, and Helena B. Scott as well there as well. Helena's amazing. Yeah. She just got a book out about Loftus Hall as well. So she's going to be down there. She's great now. She's done forensics and all types of stuff. She's
actually a psychic investigator. And historian. She's written an amazing book, which is Loftus, the Hall of Dreams. But she also brought in an amazing photographer, which is Steve Mailer, and a collaboration between the two of them. I met them when I was working there in Loftus Hall, and I have to say, her attention to detail, the facts, is just sublime. The book is amazing. It's factual, you know. There are other things written about Loftus Hall, but they just fail in comparison to this book. It is an awesome book. But she's not only that, she specializes in, you know, secret history, the occult, ley lines, you know, Gothic literature, art. I mean, her accreditations are like this long, you know. But like I say, there will be bios on the page in the coming weeks, so people will get to know about each of the individuals that will be speaking, and there will be links to their books, to their research, to, you know, to things that, so people get to know them before they actually see them on the stage. So that's, you know, worth bearing in mind.
So there is, folks, Day of the Unexplained. Chasha Law and Jan Mahoney. This is Saturday, the 18th of February, 2023. So there's the email address, Day of the Unexplained at yahoo.com. There.
And actually, just before I go, I just want to say Kevin Dean Back in time for Normal Escape. Thank you for the logo. That logo will be everywhere and everyone's going to enjoy it. It's awesome. Incorporates everything of the day. And that's going to be what's on the Facebook page and everywhere, and T-shirts and all sorts. So, yay. Thanks, Kevin.
There we go, folks. So we just go on to the... sorry, I'm just waiting for the video to upload. So we had Lynn and Liz. They both went for the mirror. So I'm just getting... over here. Sorry now, folks, there. So we're just going to check if you have won. We've got Mary's going to stay on board because we're going to see. So we're going to check the abandoned kitchen. And we're going to see if you were right, the pair of you. So you both picked the mirror. You're going to have a look at where am I going? Where am I going? This is sorry. New season, new start there. There we go. That's there. So this is it there. So Lynn and Liz, you picked the mirror. So let's see. You're in the abandoned kitchen. See if you can find Lydia. So you go up towards the mirror. Can you show yourself to me? And unfortunately, it's no luck there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's still playing. I don't know.
It is.
But
Yeah.
no luck for the mirror. Sorry now, Lynn and Lydia there. No, sorry, Lynn, Lynn and Liz there. You couldn't find Lydia there. But actual answer was here. I'll just show it there. Quickly show you to prove. So I've not been true there. Sorry now. So no luck there. Unfortunately, not in the Halloween mega draw there. It was in fact the portal. I'll show that in a second there. Just a few more shout outs there. Christine Keane says, my mum and dad lived in Rosslare Harbour and spooky stuff happened in the house. Yeah, Rosslare there. You've been taught, obviously, Rosslare, a good bit there. Have you, Mary? Can you hear me, Mary?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
You've been to Rosslare before, have you? There a few times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Gary,
an awesome spot, actually. Yeah.
Gary from Ghost Searchers Island. How you doing, Gary? Hope to see you next. Well, I'll see you soon anyway, Gary. There, the biker fest there. Hi all. Liz is. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. There, you know. But there'll be another one next. We'll be coming on in about another week and a half's time. On the next show, we'll have Ashley Dartwood, and he's a medium, tour guide, paranormal investigator and researcher. He's also been in Paranormal Captured. We will be chatting to him about the High Wycombe ghost tours and Hellfire Caves and psychometry. So that's with Ashley Dartwood as well. It's our birthday as well tomorrow. We're 13 years old. GhostÉire, not myself. So, hey! Yeah.
Well done. I'll be back on mute again after this now. I'm messing there again.
I'm just going to mute ourselves again. This is where it was. This is where Lydia was. So I'll just show this. Yeah, this is where she was. So see if you can. She was close, I think, to the portal. Yeah, I think she was somewhere there anyway. I know she's still going. I don't know. Lydia, you'll come back at another time. There she is there. So, folks, yeah, that's been the GhostÉire Channel, first episode back for season 3. A few more. Cheers, Liz. Happy birthday. Love to everyone at RIP Paranormal. Gary, how you doing? Happy birthday. Cheers. And Jenny says from MRL Paranormal, happy birthday. So, anything else to say, anyone? Right, there, the video's going again. I think that's it. Sorry, you can't hear. I muted everyone.
Yeah, you muted everyone. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, mute for 10 minutes intermittently.
I'm going. I've just got my bailies here, and I'm going for my bellies of milk.
You mute yourself now, but it's the next day.
That bloody video keeps on playing. Right, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye everyone. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.